Hi, my name's Jazz and I'm going to take you through 5 voices. Now, as we're going through this, I don't want you to assume that you are any of these voices. There is a free assessment in my VIP library that you can take to find out what your voice order is. I also don't want you to add any judgment to any of these voices, which is super hard because the first time I did this, I'm like, oh, I'm so not that. And most of all, I want you to remember that you are all 5 of these. And what we're looking at is which one is kind of naturally more strong in you. Okay, so let's take it away. There are 5 different voices that we have. We all have all 5 voices. We are all fluent in all 5 languages, but we have some that are stronger than others, and the particular order of them can dictate very much kind of how we behave under stress, what it's like on the other side of us, how to get the best out of people. So knowing people's voice order as well as your own can actually help you hack team dynamics. Let's start off with the quietest voice, nurturer. The nurturer voice is someone who has always got a real focus on relational harmony and how people feel. They've always got, there's someone in a meeting who will just check, right, do we all need a drink? And it sounds really, oh, you know, someone who gets food and drink. But it's so much more than that, because this is someone who's got their finger on the pulse when it comes to how people feel and how well people are going to react to an idea based on the harmony that it's going to create or interrupt for them. Nurturers are incredibly useful, and 43% of the population are nurturers. That's almost half, but they have an incredibly quiet voice. In meetings, a wise person will get the nurturer voice, whoever's got a nurturer voice, to speak first, because if they don't go first, they're not going at all. They're certainly not going to speak after some of the louder voices. So nurturers are incredibly, they've got such foresight in looking at what we're doing now and the impact it might have on our people, on our community, on the people who work for us, on our teams. Incredibly valuable. Creatives. People with a creative voice in the lead voice tend to be incredibly brilliant at having ideas for the future. So they can paint this incredible idea for a vision of what could be, not always kind of looking at the detail or the steps to get there, but very, very based on the values that the organisation or the family holds. They can springboard from where we are, who we are, what we believe in. The kind of motto of the creative is people like us do things like this, and they have these great ideas. Now, creatives are only 9% of the population. These are gold dust if you get one in your team. But you don't hear them always, because they're often they're quite quiet. Not as quiet as nurturers, but they don't tend to speak up as much. Often when creatives do speak up, they feel they've been incredibly clear, but nobody else has got the picture. So that often acts as a sort of barrier to creatives always putting their ideas forward first. The third quietest voice is the guardian. These guys are amazing. The guardian is the champion of detail, of due diligence, of making decisions based on a system and a process and a kind of right way of working to get you to where you need to go. They're champions of keeping things in order. The thing about the guardian is that because they often think in terms of what steps do we need to take, how do we structure this and scaffold it to make the creative's vision happen, it often feels like guardians are not getting excited about the future because they're too rooted in what's happening now. Like a creative will say, oh, we could have a great concert, we could bring everyone in, we could book Cher, we could book Madonna, we could book all these people. And the guardians will say, well, we haven't got enough chairs, so we can't do that. Which is, both of them are doing an incredible service. But you can see how there'd be a real problem between guardians being able to hear and appreciate and work with that creative voice and vice versa. Guardians are incredibly resourceful, and if you are someone who has a creative voice first, you would do well to find yourself a guardian to ground you on ideas. But only 30% of the population are guardians. The next voice, connector, is quite a loud voice, not the loudest, but they are champions of networks, relational networks, very big on relationship, very big on kind of team working and collaboration. Also incredibly persuasive because they've got such great communication skills. If they believe in something, then everybody will know about it and everybody will just get swept up in it and go, yeah, I want to do that. Connectors, it kind of feels like they might be really good salespeople. They wouldn't see themselves as salespeople because it's rooted in connecting people to resources and people to people. Sales kind of would feel a bit against their integrity because what they're trying to do is create this community of people that can all drive forward to great change. Now, 11% of the population are connectors, only very similar to creative. And often these two voices tend to go together, with either one first and the next one second. But connectors make themselves much more heard than creatives because they're allowed a voice. They're much more kind of confident in terms of bringing in a crowd. Right at the end, we've got the lovely pioneer. Now, the pioneer voice is the loudest of all the voices, and it often can be the voice that can cut everyone else down completely dead. They are absolutely brilliant at strategic vision, at looking forward, basing things on results, and making decisions that are going to solve problems and take not all the emotion out of it, but focus on winning, helping you win, helping everyone win. They're not, none of these, this is why I said about judgment. I don't want you to look at any of these and go, oh, that's not me, oh, that's not me. These are bad people. We're all of this. Everything I've described is you. But the issue is, which one comes first? If a pioneer voice is first in your first order, you'd be great at kind of driving things forward and making decisions based on the vision that we're following and the strategy that's going to get us there and the steps that need to be taken. Often, if people don't come alongside your vision, you can have a tendency to kind of, take them out because we're going no matter what. But all of these voices have an incredibly valuable input into who we are, both as individuals and as teams, and also as families. If you are a pioneer and a connector parent with a creative child, understanding how these voices work and what drives their behaviours will really help you be the parent that you can only dream of being, because we're not parenting ourselves, which wouldn't that be great? If you could just recreate yourself. Oh, I'd be a great mum. But unfortunately, my children insist on being individuals. So that makes it quite difficult. And the same in teams and the same in an organisation. This is a very brief intro because 5 Voices is literally life-changing once you can embed it in your team. And there is a free assessment that you can take if you use my magic link that will get you to this assessment. You'll be able to take it, find out your voice order and the voice order of people in your team and your family. If that's something you would like, absolutely great. Head on up to my VIP library. Very important positive disruptors live there, and you'll get the link and a host of other resources that will help you level up the way you lead yourself and others. See you there.